I'm Blumin-Onion, and today I'm going to be painting. I'm going to be working on this spread in my sketchbook. It is of a bear trap, and as you can see, I already have some of the flat colors in, and I had tried to actually paint the entire piece with paint markers, but I couldn't figure out how to blend them, and I just kept covering it up. So I decided to use a combination of acrylic paint, paint markers, and white gel pens to get the desired effect of what I was picturing in my head. I pulled 3 colors out of this kit, and then I had a additional black. This pack doesn't have a black in it. I think it used to, but it got tossed or something. I have a couple of paintbrushes. I also have my brush cleaner, and this paint palette actually is the lid to the brush cleaner, so when it isn't in use, the water jug on top can be taken off and stored in the reservoir below. It works by using the clean water to pool into a cleaning brush area, and then when you press the button, a drain opens up and the dirty water falls into the reservoir, and it can hold a pretty good amount of water, so I don't have to worry about emptying my dirty water and getting clean water when I paint, and I can just kind of stay in the zone and not remove myself from the space, because I feel like anytime I painted as a kid, always having to run back and forth to dump out your dirty water and get new water just took so long, and I felt like I dirtied it so fast. I also have this pink cloth, which is a reusable napkin that I'm repurposing as a paint drop cloth, and a brush dryer. It was gifted to me by my mother, and since it is a polyester material, it doesn't hold the paint very well, so like when I wash it, the paint comes right off, and it dries the brush really wonderfully. So my brush is always clean and dry due to these wonderful tools that I have at my disposal. Here I am just adding highlights to the chain. So as you can see, I am painting a bear trap. I actually had tried to paint this with the acrylic markers, like I said, but because I couldn't blend them properly, it just didn't look right. I'll put a picture on screen of how it was looking, which is not great. And my first pass, because I do paint over my current attempt that I'm working on here, but my first pass here is better than what the acrylic markers were, but it still wasn't living up to what I had really wanted. So I just go over it with this gray-blue paint, and then I hated that because it is much too dark and cool compared to the original color that I used, so I actually did bring out the acrylic markers that I originally put the base colors in, and just kind of covered that, which I think it gave me a better jumping off point for the next attempt, and really did a better job at covering up all of the paint that I had put on, all the black and the white and the mid-gray. I started off by mixing a highlight tone, and since this gray is already so light, I mixed the gray that I had and then white to make the shadows, and then I just go in with a semi-dry brush and kind of blot on white and blend it into the gray, outlining the edge of the teeth that are visible with black to kind of make them more defined and stand out. And then I go in and I add this the white and gray tone to all of the chains, which is a very tedious process. But I do think that it does make it look a lot better. And I had added highlights to the chains during the first attempt, and I do like the way they looked. I think that was the only good thing about the first attempt, and they did look a lot better after adding that, but they look even better once I start adding the gray tones. You'll see. Because it's like they went from being kind of a chain to being like, whoa, those are chains. So here I'm starting. And this was such a time-consuming process. I ended up filming for over 2.5 hours, and that's not including the first couple of renditions of me trying to paint this off camera with the acrylic markers. So this piece has taken a lot of time to get it to where it is, but I'm actually so happy with how it turned out. Also, I'm so sorry. Allergy season is starting and the weather has just been crazy and it's causing my allergies to flare up a lot. So I'm a little congested and I've been really sneezy, but I felt like I was good enough to do a voiceover for this video, and I didn't want to just put the music over it because I felt like I had a lot to say about this piece. And originally I just drew the bear trap in the very center with no chains, and I added the chains in after a while because I thought that the bear trap all by itself just looked too small. Like I should have drawn the bear trap bigger if I wanted it to be the only thing in the spread. But I added the chains, which was a tedious event, and then I guess I was just setting myself up to continuously tinker and tweak these chains because I went in with the pencil to draw them, and then I went in with the paint marker to color them in, and then I went in with the white to add a highlight, and then I went in with the gray and white mixture to give them a shadow, and then I went back in with this gel point to add the highlight again to make sure that it didn't get swallowed up by the shadow. And I mean, they looked great, but I really set myself up with that one. Here I am taking a color similar to the paper. It's a little bit more orangey, so it does stand out a little bit, but it was close enough that I thought it would be good to use as like kind of a mistake eraser, but then it was too different from the page, so I just made a circle to kind of make it part of the background. And then I went back in with the white and added my final highlights. And at that point, I was done. And this is the final piece. I will also pop up a picture on screen. I've been Blumin-Onion, and I'll smell you later.
Thanks for watching to the end of the video. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. If you want to watch more, check out the videos on screen. And if you can't get enough of me, I'm Blumin-Onion on all other platforms. If you'd like to see your art featured at the end of my video, please send it to me in an email and where you'd like to be credited.